Rifleman. Landing headshots has a stack of a bonus 10% weapon damage for 5 seconds. Max stack is 5. Additional headshots refresh the duration. This then goes to 11% and 6 stacks for perfect. Rifleman. Boomerang. Critical hits have a 50% chance to return the bullet to the magazine. If the bullet is returned to the magazine, the next shot gains 40% increased damage. This is increased to 70% and 50% increased damage for perfect Boomerang. Rifleman and Boomerang are considered to be the best options for your rifles. However, what are they really doing, and what one actually works out better? This is a question that's plagued most endgame players and a lot of content creators, and the general gist of it really is, well, it depends on actually what you're wanting from your rifle. It also depends entirely, as the crit versus headshot video I did not too long ago actually implies, it depends entirely on your accuracy level. Now, in this footage that you are seeing here, I am actually using Boomerang. Be warned, I am absolutely terrible with a rifle, so pretty much everything I'm about to say is one of those things of do as I say, not as I do, simply because one of these is completely and utterly RNG on top of RNG on top of RNG, and the other one is, can you even shoot, bro? So we're going to start with Boomerang, since that is the footage going on. Boomerang at base is a 50% chance on crit. So if you have a 60% chance to crit, that means that from that point you then have a 50% chance for that crit to then take effect with Boomerang. In total, this is a 24% chance. You have a 24% chance for Boomerang to actually take effect. First of all, you have to hit your target, then you have to have that hit crit, and then that crit needs to proc Boomerang. The damage bonus from Boomerang is 40% all weapon damage. This is your base form damage. It is the same as your red cores on your build and is pretty much what 90% of buffs in this game actually gives you. It's very rare that some of these buffs will actually give you total weapon damage. What we have here is Rifleman. Rifleman, obviously landing headshots as a stack of 10% weapon damage. This again is all weapon damage, same as your red cores, and each stack lasts for 5 seconds. Repeated headshots at maximum stacks will refresh the duration. If you are accurate, this is de facto the better option. This is pretty much, I think it works out to around a 38% increase in your overall weapon damage. The reason I say that is because your first 5 shots are going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, and then you get 50, and then after that your next 10 shots, we're running on a 16 round magazine, well 15 round magazine here, so effectively your first 4 shots are not at max. Your 5th shot is at max, but that's the first shot to calculate from being at max, and then you have to maintain it, which isn't typically a hard thing to do if you are someone of this accuracy level. I am not. However, the weird thing with rifles is they are very good at bursting down high health enemies, chungas, bosses, raid bosses, named elites, etc, etc. There is a weird catch to all of this. Despite the fact that in terms of pure burst DPS, Rifleman is the better option. It offers a higher output. Reason being, 1 is you need headshots to trigger it. Headshots do more damage. 2, the maximum capability of Rifleman is 50%, whereas Boomerang is 40% and is 24% chance. But where Boomerang actually gets its damage from isn't the 40% increase in all weapon damage. It's actually the fact that it refunds that bullet. So you go from what was a 15 round mag to a 16 round mag. Oh, brilliant, yeah, Boomerang propped again. I now have a 17 round mag. Alright, propped again, 18 round mag. And on something like an M1A Classic or CQB, those extra rounds are beyond crucial to your overall performance. The downside to this is, again, I'm going to keep repeating it, it's a 24% chance for this to even happen. Now, all that's going on in the background now is me calculating this sheet. I'm assuming every shot is a headshot crit shot, but my base damage without either Rifleman or Boomerang procking was 3,782,253. With Rifleman, 10% increase is 3.9, another 10%, 4.0, another 10%, 4.2, another 10%, 4.3, another 10%, 4.5, and then that stays steady throughout. The big number at the bottom, 61.2 mil, is our total damage across the magazine. I averaged the left-hand column on Boomerang 2 procs per magazine. There were some magazines where I didn't proc at all, some magazines where I procced only once. There was one magazine where I procced 5 times. My average was 2. For 2 magazine procs, I got 61.7 million damage across my entire magazine. So Boomerang across the entire magazine, provided you get 2 Boomerang procs, will do more across the magazine. However, if you take the top 5 numbers from Rifleman and Boomerang and then calculate DPS, Rifleman comes out on top. If you take the middle 5 numbers from Boomerang and Rifleman and calculate the DPS, Rifleman comes out on top. If you take the bottom 5 numbers from Rifleman and Boomerang and calculate the DPS, Rifleman comes out on top. If you pick any 5 numbers from the left column and any 5 numbers from the right column and calculate DPS, Rifleman comes out on top. Boomerang is much more suited to sustained DPS. This is your DPS over a longer period of time. I would argue this is better for boss burns rather than open world. Rifleman is better suited for straight up DPS. However, the choices really are up to you. With all that being said though, there is one more caveat. Obviously, Boomerang critical hits have a chance. If you are running a headshot build, there's no crit chance, just, I don't know, weapon handling, headshot, armor regen, headshot, etc, etc. You obviously do not want to go for Boomerang. Rifleman is then going to be your better option. There are certain scenarios where Boomerang will actually be a better option. This would typically be a M1A CQB boss burn through like raid mechanics. M1A CQB with Boomerang will be the better option, simply because you don't have to reload as often. But again, still, burst DPS, Rifleman, sustained DPS, Boomerang. I personally prefer Boomerang because I can barely ever get Rifleman to proc. Have fun, good luck, don't die. It's bad for the health.